Well, hello. I'm Dolly Freeman. I'm the creator of the Charlotte Mason Mastery Planning Framework, and I'm here to answer your questions live. And while I'm waiting for some of those questions, I'm going to be answering some of the most frequently asked questions I've been getting an email, as well as those things that I've been seeing around the internet and direct messages and stuff to help you decide, number one, if this method is the right fit for your family. Number two, if this program, 12-month coaching program, is the right fit for your family. And number three, really getting nailed in as to what you can expect inside this 12-month program that starts from the end of this month, July 2021, all the way through July 2022. So let's get started. So the Charlotte Mason Mastery Planning Framework are for those who want the big picture of Charlotte Mason by understanding how the brain works to prepare it for the habits of formal education, which is often the thing that is missed in children's habit formation, in preparing the brain, readying the brain for that formal education. And so when they get into elementary class ages, what they're finding is they're not having a good attitude to what's assigned to them. They're also not having the obedience to parents because they're struggling with balking at the assignments, just struggling with what it is, as well as just a lot of the challenges that we often see with children at home. So there's a lot of that, in addition to attention isn't being trained properly, and attention spans are not being done. A child's thinking process is not being developed, as well as conditioning the brain for the retention of ideas. So that's all going to be mentioned and trained inside the formative planning framework. The second one, which is like I call the phases of a child's education, is the elementary. The elementary is where you're focusing in understanding how to design and deliver an interest-led planning education, where it's twofold. It's child-led. That way you can build on the strengths to help overcome the struggles while introducing the knowledge-based interest in a way that will help your children to be able to retain the information that is required by homeschool laws. And let's just be honest, that ration of knowledge that we want our children to have, and not just be that one path. So that is where the elementary focus is on, so that you're delivering a delightful education, you're understanding how retention is done, and you're implementing in a way that will help your children go through that noticeable progress and then significant progress all the way into self-education. So that's what that second phase is really all about. The third phase gives that big picture of what education really is with this method and what the sole ends are, and how to really get your children to not just take ownership of it, but to be proud in what they're doing, not just doing their best, but doing it for the right reasons, and how those dominant ideas that you'll be forming in those elementary years are actually going to be transitioned into used and positioned in a way to earn high school credits. There's a stage in a child's life, very much like that of a child in the 2, 3, and 4 years, where they go through the why stage, which is very important to how the brain works. And we often stifle that as a parent. There's also a stage in those middle years, the 7th and 8th grade, sometimes 6th grade, where a child begins to debate. And I walk you through that process of how to, number one, recognize when your child has gotten there, and then how to leverage it in your planning so that you can be doing your due diligence in helping the brain to continue to learn in a way that builds those principles in your children that you really want them to take into adulthood, and then preparing them for their formal education beyond into adulthood beyond homeschooling. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in here. This is the time where you get to ask your particular questions, as I really give you a full understanding of what the 12-month coaching program is, the different phases and how they work, and we'll go from there. So one of the main questions I'm getting is, Dolly, I'm really not sure if this is the right fit for me. I would love your coaching, But here's the problem. I don't have children who are in those upper years yet. And I completely understand. And so they're thinking about holding off until their children get into those middle school and high school ages. Here's the thing that I want to really put to you. And as I've been training and coaching my clients, I'm starting to realize that they're missing the big picture. They don't understand fully what it looks like when Charlotte Mason talks about the soul end of an education being the intellectual, being the physical, the moral, and spiritual aspects of a child's complete ration of knowledge, and how that leads to a child having the character and conduct that you want them to have, the efficiency and ability in their learning, as well as that finest quality of a citizen, which is magnanimity, meaning doing things for others. So when you get the big picture of what this does inside the prepared planning framework, you're then able to be more intentional about those things that you're giving to your children in the elementary, preparing the way for them into that debating stage that I talked about, where they're then going to be able to use their dominant ideas, your principles as a family, and help guide that debate where they're not going into that teenage years of rebellion and really struggling and going against everything that you're saying. You want to be prepared for that. So if you wait until your children are there, you may not have those strategies, those philosophies in place to help you bridge and transition your children naturally and beautifully through those younger ages to avoid a lot of those pitfalls parents find. So that's the big benefit of having that entire big picture played out. Charlotte Mason tells us to design our children's education. So in order to design, we want to know what that end looks like. And that's what the prepared does. Now, do you need to sit into the coachings on that? No, but it would kind of help you to see what parents who do have older children are overcoming and how I really coach them through that, because it's often with that information that we can really eliminate a lot of stress for us. In my business, when I hear other people saying in my coaching that I take advantage of, when I'm in there and I'm hearing clients who are, a little bit further in their business than I am, and I hear them saying challenges they have, I'm like, oh, I want to avoid that. I'm going to listen to this answer so I don't have those problems. And so that's how I see this program working for you and helping to kind of remove those obstacles. Now, these are all lifetime access for all three of the phases. And what's important is focus on where you're at while still getting that big picture of where you're going. Will help you. Now, another thing is the prices next time I open enrollment are going to be significantly higher. In fact, the prices right now do not reflect any coaching. And I want you to recognize the reason of that is because I learn what you don't know. You may have heard me say, moms don't know what mom doesn't know. Well, coaches don't know what coaches don't know. And so by me giving you guys these, the blueprints, that only happened because I've been coaching for the last 3 years and hearing people going through my digital courses and recognizing, oh, they're missing that part. I can fill that. Now I know what they don't know. And I have been equipped as a coach to be able to fill those gaps, just like I'm trying to help you to be equipped to fill the gaps for your children. So by me doing that, I have been in that learning phase of what my clients have needed. And I got to that point that I'm pretty certain that by the time I get to next year, everything that I offer will be completely solidified in the fact that everything will be there. There's a few things that I'm planning for my clients in this coming year that I keep been hearing questions about the last, 4 weeks or so, that I'm like, I can give them a blueprint on what that looks like. So I'm sure I'm going to have a few more blueprints by the time I open up, but be aware the next time I do open up, it is going to be with my coaching cost involved. So that's important to know. So if you were to buy all three of the phases, it would be the same price as you would having me coach you for an entire year, plus locking in year 2, which is only coaching cost. And it's a significant lower price than what year 2 next year would look like for other people. So I want you to know that. If you have questions, pop them in the email or pop them in the comments and I'll answer them for you. Okay, so another question that I'm having is for current clients. I'm getting a lot of current clients contact me and saying, how do these changes affect me? Well, the best thing is to know is that I've done everything in my power to make this transition from what you have into the next thing to benefit you greatly. So let me go through that. So if you have formative and that's all you have, I want you to recognize that because no one has shown up to the coaching calls, no one has pre-submitted questions, I'm really not able to connect with you and know where it is that you're needed, where you're needing some more. But I will tell you, my elementary people who have formative have been asking those questions because they're the ones who are recognizing they've missed that part. Now, if you've ever seen me promote formative in the past, I promoted it from birth to 5th grade or 5 years old. I'm sorry, birth to 5 years old. And what I'm recognizing is that it is really not that. It's the fact that people are missing that. Charlotte Mason tells us to use those philosophies during those ages, but because we don't know what we don't know, we didn't recognize that that's how we should be doing our children from birth to 5. And so I've positioned it where it fits where it ought to, where it helps support those in the elementary. Now, my clients show up for elementary. So what I decided instead of putting it on my calendar, showing up on time, being there for 10 minutes all on my lonely, that I decided that that's not the best use of my time. So I'm going to remove that coaching time and move those clients who are currently on it into the elementary time. That way they can be benefited by those who are just a little bit before, like I mentioned before, they're a little bit ahead of them so they can see how what's informative will benefit them. So recognizing that you've got a big benefit here by coming in and coaching with people who are just a little bit ahead of you in this elementary journey and who are seeing and understanding how those 4 modules work to ready your child for formal education. So that has been changed. And then those who are in elementary, if you choose not to move on with me, nothing's changed. You will still be in your same hub. You will still have your coaching calls. You will still have access to me. You will still have the supporting community. And that's something else I forgot to mention. Those informative also get the supporting community for a lifetime, meaning that they can go in and get any type of support with others who are going through that themselves. And that's a powerful thing if you use it. And the same thing with elementary and prepared. They all come with supported communities. Now, that doesn't include me for coaching. It definitely doesn't include me holding your hand through the process. This is about getting you together with like-minded Charlotte Mason homeschoolers. So to get me, you have to come into the coaching program. Now, another benefit with those who have elementary is if they choose not to upgrade with me, they're still getting the revamp that I'm doing later this year. And so when I do that revamp, it's going to take place of what's currently there. So no one is going to have access to that any longer. And I'm going to be bringing in the new one. The new one is definitely better. It has more of the step-by-step and filling out a lot of the questions my clients have been having over the years. So I'm real excited about that revamp. Then for prepared, nothing has changed for you either. The key aspect is that's the only one that I had put some coaching cost in. And the reason is strategizing with people in high school takes a little more time and effort and more resources. So that's why when I opened up last time, there was some coaching costs to it. In that is why if you have elementary and prepared, you're automatically upgraded for free into the mastery. Same thing with my family clients. They're automatically moved up, no additional cost. They get all of the resources that is in Mastery, which they didn't pay for all of them. In addition, there's new resources. I'm real excited about the motivating meetups where children ages 6 to 18 can register for a time to come on Zoom with us. And it's recorded so that you can have a little bit of that evidence if you need it for your portfolio or perhaps your any kind of reports that you have to do for your schooling, and if you want to share it with any family members. So there's the nature fair. Then let me see if I can remember the nature fair. Geography fair is second, science fair is third, and then the fourth one is the history fair. So it's real exciting. It's going to help your children learn how to articulate and communicate. It's going to keep them motivated because they have something now to work towards. Kids love to show what they know, most kids, and it's going to help them practice that public speaking skills, which a lot of homeschoolers don't really have the opportunity to doing. And it's getting them comfortable on camera as well. So it's twofold. So that's brand new, and I'm so excited about it. So there are some changes there. Now, if your family, I've had the family coaching as well on Fridays. People haven't been showing up for that either. So what I decided is to bring family into all of this for my coaching clients, because I want them to recognize that they can be making family learning a part of all of their plans with just a little bit of nuances to how they do it. And another thing that I'm super excited about is that all of my clients that are moving forward with me, who've been freely upgraded, those who have elementary and prepared or family have been upgraded for free. Those clients get complete access to the 4 hours live stream planning happening on this Saturday, July 31st. That is me demonstrating how I go about planning a homeschool schedule. A homeschool syllabus for the year, a subject syllabus, and the week syllabus, while building a grade notebook. This is something I'm asked about all the time for examples of grade notebooks. Funny enough, my children love their grade notebooks and they kind of want to keep them private. They're very personal to them. And so I've never really demonstrated what that all looks like. I give them step by step how to build it, but people love examples. So why not come and watch me build it this year? So that is this Saturday. And so I added that completely as a little bit of a caring for my current clients and helping those who are coming in. Because when you see it, you'll see how easy it is to plan this way with my framework and this method to make sure it's interest-led. So that's part of that as well. And then I've been having questions about those who are, because I have clients that renew in March. I have some that renew in June or July. I have them renewing at different times. And so what I've decided is all current clients, regardless of when you come in, will not be needing to renew until July 2022. So that is a huge benefit, especially those who came in on March this year. You get to stay with me until July 2022, which is huge, at no additional cost. So let's talk about cost, because this is one question, quite a few questions I've had surrounding the payment. So right now it's $150 for 12 payments. And yes, you are committing to those full 12 payments. This is not a subscription where you can come in and cancel at any time. This is a membership commitment for 12 full months. So if you pay in full, you save $303. So payment in full is $1,497. Now, those clients who come in this year and all clients previously will be able to do year 2 with me after they upgrade into year 2, which is year 2 is 2002 to 2003 for all clients. So I'm going to say that again because this has been a confusion. Year 2, everyone starts on the same level, so to speak, the same time, because it's going to be easier for my back end to be able to really understand where everybody is in this. So this year, 2021 to 2022 is year one. 2022 to 2023 is year two, and so on and so forth. So everyone is going to be in the same cycle with me. So with that being said, those who want to renew into next year's school year, 2022 to 2023, will be able to do that at a discounted rate of $470 if they pay in full. They're getting 2 months free, or $47 a month. So that helps you guys to be able to see the benefits of those committing this year. Now, you do have 14 days of a no risk guarantee. Now, that is to see if this fits you. This is not to see what more can I get from Dolly and just cancel in 14 days, because here is something you must know. If you come in with the understanding where you're just going to see what module one's like, and it's not that you really want to use this method, you're just wanting to get some more information. If you click on more things, if you view more than what's inside that module one of formative and module one of elementary, and the resource that goes with it, the notebook, if you go beyond those two things, you have voided your guarantee. So that's really important, because going beyond that says, I like what I see and I want to learn more. And so by clicking around and doing more, because it is a digital world in there, it really makes you realize that you have just voided your guarantee. And I can see all the activity in the back end. So I want you to be aware of that. This is not, it's a test drive for the method to see, do I really want to do this method? It is not a test drive to see how much content you can consume in 14 days. So I want to make sure that's really clear for everybody, because it is crucial you know what you're doing when you're inside. So if for any reason you go in and you stay within the restraints of the 14-day guarantee, if you say, you know what, Dolly, this isn't for me, just email me. And I will go ahead and refund whatever it was that you paid. If you did your monthly, I will cancel that. If you did and refund you your $150. If you did your full pay in full, you will get that reimbursed as well. Now, all of the bonuses, the pay in full bonuses, the stages of transitions, none of them are delivered until after the 14-day delivery. They're going out on August 12th is what I have it on, because I need a little more time behind the back end to make sure that I have everyone out of the emails that have went ahead and got their taken advantage of the 14-day guarantee. So that's what we need to do. So just know that going into this, and then it will be delivered to you in email, because not everyone secured those. So that is that. Okay, so let's talk about how the Zoom calls work. It is on Zoom. It is not in a Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group for those who have questions, wins, suggestions, any of those types of things. We do have a Facebook group for that community. You cannot email me your questions. I don't have the band space for that. But in addition to it, when questions are asked publicly, it's really good because it helps the other person, but they may also have a suggestion for you as well. I'm not the only one that knows about resources. In fact, I often buy resources my clients tell me about. So it's a wonderful community for all of us to kind of be together in that. So know that right up front, that is something that's benefited to you. Now, our coaching calls are done, in fact, on Zoom. They are recorded for replay. In addition to that, they are searchable, just like all of the content inside the hub, meaning that if you are with me and you're coaching with me, or you're hearing someone else's coaching and you really like what I said, maybe it was a resource, and you just had time to jot down a name, or you remembered, a keyword or a phrase, you could go back and search that, and it get right to the place in the transcripts and in the video itself. So the benefit of that is, if you pre-submitted a question, maybe you want to make sure your question gets answered. Or you want to make sure that you're not able to be live and you still want your question answered, you can pre-submit. Then you can just go into the replay and punch your name in. Just type in your name and it'll go right to where I talk to you about your questions. So it's saving you a lot of time and it's helping you get to what you need the most. So that's the benefit of the platform that I use. In addition to that, you will be able to download the videos, the audios. You'll also be able to download the transcripts. So because it's lifetime, I'm able to give you that. I have a lot of people asking me about captions because I talk so fast. I try to slow down, but I can't help myself. So the captions are on the videos as well to kind of help you if you really are having a hard time. They're down at the bottom. All right, anybody have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll get to them as well. Just trying to make sure. Okay, so enrollment closes tomorrow, Tuesday, July 27th at 11:59 p.m. So when you recognize that when enrollment closes, it will not open again until June 24th. And it will only be open for a few days as well. So if you in any way feel as though you need coaching, you want some handheld, being able to tap into all of my knowledge, then you can go ahead and enroll. Now, the key thing is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, the next stage of transition blueprint disappears. And I'm trying to think of which one that is. That is the arithmetic. Because I kept it open for everyone because I celebrated my husband's birthday on Saturday and my married son and daughter-in-law came and we had dinner and we went to the pool. Because we enjoyed a family day, I didn't get an opportunity to tell my list about it. So that's a win-win for anyone who is still thinking about enrolling with me. Instead of just having 2 left at this point, there are 3. And that is let me think through the thinking, the writing. Thinking, reading, and arithmetic. Writing has disappeared. So those of you who've already enrolled, yay for you because you've gotten all 4 of those. I've had people saying, I want just that. I'm sorry, I'm not selling that separate, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to sell it separate. If I do know I'll be selling it for $297 for 4 of them, because this is truly a step-by-step stages of transition for everything that you will do to ensure that your children do not have gaps. Right now, I'm keeping it for clients only because that's just how I roll. And we'll just say it like that. There was something else. Okay, I've also had questions about people asking about, you mentioned you have the coaching program and then you have the phases for people to go through on their own, but I'm not seeing that on the enrollment page. Well, that's because right now it is just the program that's opened. On Wednesday, I will be opening up the phases. So if you just are not able to afford the coaching right now, if you aren't interested in the coaching because it has more than you need, then you can wait for the phases that open up to Wednesday. So you can be looking for that. The prices for that is $297 for formative, $497 for elementary, and $697 for prepared. Again, none of them come with coaching. They do come with lifetime access to the phase that you purchase. It does, in fact, come with lifetime access to the supported community as long as it's an active community. I don't want to keep a community open that is not being used. So know that. I like to see things are being used. If not, it tells me my customers are not interested in that. So just know that's how I roll as well. So as long as it's being used, I'm content to keep it there. So if you look at those prices, let me see, I haven't done the exact math. $297 for formative, $497 for elementary, and $697 for prepared is $1,491. So it's $6 cheaper to go through the phases on your own right now than it would be for you to purchase or enroll in 1 year with me as coaching. So if you're frugal minded, that is the benefits. And I'm also going to tell you they have their own packages, and not everything that you have seen me promote inside this program offer comes with it. So they have their own packages. They do not have any pay in full bonuses except for some good price, good savings versus if you pay monthly. And they do not have any act fast bonuses. So just know it's the package only, and it just comes with that. And what comes with each package is all that comes with the package. So just know when that comes. Any questions? Go ahead and post them. I just have probably one more. The phases will be closing on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So when they close. So just know that. Yes, I'll open them again, but formative may be opened at some point, because this is one thing that I know a lot of moms are missing and not understanding the importance of it. So that one might open up again at some point, but elementary and prepared will not open up again until next year after the Charlotte Mason Mastery Planning Framework. So if you need help planning and implementing the Charlotte Mason philosophy with my planning framework, then you really should look into doing this. So someone had asked me, I noticed this, someone had asked me, I've gotten your Master Charlotte Mason Planning PDF. Is that all I need? And the answer to that is no. That gets you started. That by no means has everything that will help you master. It'll give you the confidence to get started, almost like the mechanics of planning, but it doesn't give you the full spectrum of what you're going to need to make this work for your family, and to get the progress that you really need. So there's that. Okay, so I'll stay live as long as I have questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments. You can register at Charlotte Mason Mastery, charlottemasonmastery.com. Oh goodness, I'm having a hard time remembering the URL. So I think I put it in the video here. Let me check really quick. Oh goodness, I forgot that. I'm going to go over the URL. I'll put the URL in here a second. The problem is I cannot post it inside the group. So give me a second to get. So if you're inside the group watching me, just know it's not going to be posted there, but it's inside there. So on my page, it's posted, and in YouTube, it's posted. So just know. So Courtney says, can you go over what bonuses are still included with the big coaching package as of right now? Again, YouTube does not have a comment box opened, at least for me. Well, that stinks. I don't know why that's not the case. Thank you for letting me know that, Courtney, but absolutely I can go through it. In fact, let me open it up on my sales page and the enrollment page here and walk through what it all comes. All right, let's see, share. All right, hopefully you can see that. All right, so let's talk about it. Again, it comes with all three phases, and I'm going to break up what those three phases are. So those three phases are formative, elementary, and prepared. So with formative, it comes with a habit builder. It comes with the tolerably fine day. It comes with the observation blueprint as well as the imagination blueprint. All 4 of these blueprints are literally step by step taking you through those specific things on top of the philosophies inside the 4 modules of formative to help you understand how to train willing obedience in a child, the psychology of habits, so that you can recognize how important it is for a child to obey you when you're giving them assignments they may not like. Children tend to obey parents when they love what they have assigned to them. So it walks you through how to do that. The second module, informative, talks to you about training attention. And so Charlotte Mason trains attention outside. So the Tolerably Fine Day is truly a step-by-step blueprint that you can use to spend 4 to 6 hours outside with game-like lessons that do not include your planned lessons, which is amazing. A lot of people think if they just take their lessons outside, they're doing Charlotte Mason. But in fact, she said we shouldn't be bringing those outside. Outdoors has a whole other spectrum of what we should be teaching our children. So I walk you through that. Observation is one of those things, but observation is a huge step. And I talk about that in module 3. Observation is really what's going to help a child recognize key things that they need for thinking. And so I walk you through those steps as well. And then imagination helps improve vocabulary, imagination, memory, and the skill of narration. So it's really important the child recognizes that. And so if your children are bored, if they're having a really hard time self-directing in free time, this imagination will help you as well. Then for elementary, this has 5 modules right now, and it walks you through the first 3 modules are Charlotte Mason's philosophies about how children are unique and how their education should be interest-led. And it's really important that you understand that. The last 2 modules are my planning framework and how you are able to do that. And so to help you, there are blueprints for a delightful education, helping you understand what that looks like, what should be included. And then the second resource is developing dominant ideas. Everything about Charlotte Mason stems from supplying ideas and us developing them in the child so that information converts to knowledge. And that's the difference between her method and that of any other method and that of the school system. So when we understand how information is converted to knowledge through ideas, a child will then retain their information. And then a child must have free time in order for those ideas to produce. So I give you a free time blueprint that has 30 activities ranging from all ages to help your children be supplied with ideas during that time, and you kind of having a checklist of what you should be having and what you should be teaching before giving that to your children independently. And then the resource that walks you step by step through how to construct and plan your grade notebook for each of your children. Then in the prepared is the four modules. It helps you to understand how to leverage middle school. And that's that stage that I was talking about, that debate stage, and how important it is for you to leverage that in their assignments so that they're empowered in the way to make the right decisions and go the right way. I also talk about how to appease homeschool laws for accrediting high school, how to give a high school credit and how to plan that out, as well as step-by-step how to take those dominant ideas and move them into a high school credit, as well as showing you how to celebrate your child's graduation and get them more prepared for adulthood. And I give you resources. So a high school grade notebook looks different than that of a elementary and even middle school notebook. So I give you that. I teach you with a template as well, like step by step, how to do a transcript. I talk about the character and conduct necessary for adulthood with that, and then dominant ideas for high school. I walk you through how to leverage them. Now, these 4 resources I'm about to tell you do not come with any of these other things. They completely are saved for those going through mastery. The From Birth to High School is a checklist that you would want to print out, 1 per child. It will help you to know that you're doing all of the philosophies that will help your child to not just become self-educating, but to take their place in society where they're caring about others and they have their career marked out for them. The second resource is subjects. Subjects, does come with both elementary and with prepared. That walks you through the subjects of Charlotte Mason, how many books, how many hours, all of that part of a Charlotte Mason homeschool. The third one is how to proof your homeschool from infants and toddlers, the things you could be doing to ensure you have a productive year, even if you have a lot of little ones. And then planning all your grades with 1 curriculum and how to family learn together. And then the last one there is grading and how to grade the Charlotte Mason way so that you can move away from motivating your children with grades and motivate them with doing their best, which is really key to getting them into the workplace with the right motives. And then these other 3 are again, just for mastery, and that's the live stream planning happening this Saturday, July 31st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'll be planning our son's 6th grade notebook, his year syllabus, his subject syllabus, as well as a weekly syllabus so that you can see what that looks like. I mentioned the 4 motivated meetups where children can sign up from ages 6 to 18 to have a show and tell type of presentation in a virtual classroom to do a nature fair, a geography fair, a history fair, and a science fair. I cannot wait for that. And then my mastery students are going to get lifetime access to the homeschool progress blueprint and workshop that I've done so that they can have that to know exactly how to progress their children and to go back and do that time again. So that is what's involved with that. And while I'm answering questions, I'm going to scroll down to right here. I'm going to scroll down here and let you guys see that while I get back into the comments. Okay, Courtney says, if you have older children, would you start your program at where your kids are according to their age, or go back and learn and possibly implement things from the younger programs that teach skills that maybe you haven't worked on with your children? I hope that makes sense. Courtney, it makes complete sense. And I would 100% not tell your children what philosophies fit where, because what mom doesn't know, but what kids don't know, they don't know either. So there's no reason they need to be informed that they've missed things. And so I would definitely, and that's why I took from birth to 5 years old off the formative, is because even though Charlotte Mason says these are what we should be working on in the formative years, it doesn't mean we've done that. And the majority of the world has not. But they are the things that are going to really help your children move forward. Now, I will say this. I've done those things with my younger two, and it made a huge difference in a lot of the things that they observed and noticed. But I didn't start a lot of those things until my older two were much older. And what I found is they have a better retention from it than my younger ones. And I think it was that I just thought it would come natural and retain better because I started it early. But really what it was is I was more intentional with my older ones because we were all learning it at the same time. And so I was more intentional with them. They were older and they retained it differently. So it's really important to recognize that even I have benefited from this method in my own education. being nearly 50, and I've been doing this for quite some time. So my education has benefited from it. So it doesn't matter if your children are, preteens, teens, or mom age, we all can benefit from these philosophies. And the reason being is they're focused on how the brain works and retains information. So knowing that anyone can use these philosophies at any age to be educated. So I hope that helps you to understand. So you can go ahead and click on this link to enroll, and enrollment goes until Tuesday, July 27th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So I think I've answered all the questions. I've gone through the package again. The key thing to know is next year when enrollment opens on June 24th, it will be significant higher because it's the first time I'll be adding coaching costs into it. So which parts of the Mastery Coaching Program have lifetime access? Every resource has lifetime access except for me. So any coaching stops at your 12 months unless you renew for a second year, and that is going through it again. No one is going to be put into the program without them going through the process of the CART as well and enrolling a second year. And so that is nothing that will happen without your actual action put on it. So that does not have any of that. And then the coaching replays will not be a lifetime access either. So any aspect of coaching and coaching community, coaching replays are something you have to stay in to keep. But the supported community, that is just those going through it without me, that's lifetime. All the videos are lifetime. All of the PDFs are lifetime. You will just be moved from the coaching hub over to the Mastery Lifetime Hub if you choose not to move on for the second year or the third year. Whenever you choose not to move on, you'll be moved to the Lifetime Access Mastery Hub. And that's something we do manually for you. You just have to click to have access to it. So it's pretty easy when your coaching comes to the end, and you'll be aware of that before, so that if you want to renew for a second year or third year, you have the option to do so. So yes, the only bonuses left right now are the three of the the stages of transition. Yes, for arithmetic, I'm having a hard time reading and thinking, but I will say that there's one more bonus that I have yet to really kind of talk to people about, and that is me going live on our first coaching on Monday, I'm looking at the wrong month, August 2nd. I will be talking about creating that baseline to get a clear understanding of where your children are in the mechanics and being able to know how to show that noticeable progress year one. And that will come with a PDF as well. That is not given out until that first coaching. And so that's additional bonus that I have not really told everybody about. I'm sending that out tomorrow. So know that there is that. And then if you pay in full, you also get all of the done for you plans, which are the consumer or the composer, the artist, which both have one. They both have 50. Let me stop for a second. 50 composers, 50 artists, 6 selections for each of them already mapped out for you with clickable links that will take you to YouTube videos or videos online for composers and art online that is family friendly on the internet to study. So that's 300 composers, 300 artist pieces that you'll be able to study. So that's those two. Then the poems that children should memorize has 100 poems, and they are divided by ages, and they're they're created in the way that will help you build wholesome character and conduct in your children. There's also manuscript and cursive included for every poem so that you can use it for copy work if you want. You can also use these selections for dictation. So you can use them 3 ways. There's over 500 pages. I can't remember the exact number of pages. I think it was like 550 something. So it's a huge resource. And then the 4th piece in that pay in full bonus is also the 100 living literature books that our children have used and loved. So that'll just get you your feet wet and knowing what living could look like for your family, and some really good wholesome literature to get you started. So that's all there as well. So yes, so there's the bonuses. And like I said, there's going to be that baseline to showing noticeable progress, training as well as PDF. That is an additional bonus that's going to be happening on August 2nd for those that are moving forward. That is the only bonus that will be happening prior to the end of the 14-day guarantee. So everybody gets it regardless if you move forward, which makes it completely special. Because normally I hold off all of my bonuses until afterwards. So that's kind of like a special bonus. So that's fun. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. So I'm excited about it. All right, if you have any additional information, I'm going to go ahead and put this here. I mean, if you have any additional questions, you can email me at info@charlottemasonmastery.com. And I will answer your questions there, especially if you are a current client and you need help knowing what you need to do to move over and upgrade on there. So if you are, I'm going to repeat this again, if you are an existing client who already has elementary and prepared or family, you're automatically moved up and you get everything, all the new stuff in here as well as your commitment goes until the end of July with extra months that you do not have to pay for. So there is no additional cost on your part. If you're only elementary, I think it's $1,000 to upgrade or $100 a month so you can get 2 months free. And if you're formative, I think it's, I don't remember if it's that, but if you have formative and elementary, it's like $700 to upgrade if you have both of those. So you can just email me. I'll let you know. It's all ready for y'all. All right, you guys, thank you. I look forward to enjoying and welcoming those that are coming into the coaching. It's going to be a wonderful year. I'm so excited for it. Oh, you know what I forgot to talk about? It's not on my list. It just popped in my head. Is I'm also creating the stages of transitions for mothers to go through this, these philosophies and turn the information into knowledge as well. So each month you'll be getting a different PDF, which is a bonus that I did not have on here. So it is a PDF each month that will help you go through the stages of this year with me and be able to know exactly what you need to be doing and when to implement this information into knowledge in your mind. So I look forward to that. So be watching for more of that information. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of the day. Let me know if you have any questions. You can comment on this video or email me at info@charlottemasonmastery.com. And I would love the privilege of coaching you through this transition. All right, until next time, bye for now.